Sweet life, sweet life, sweet life, sweet life. Well, hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this adorable cake topper using all items from the Dollar Tree and without using my Cricut at all. So let's get started. Okay, so the first item we have from the Dollar Tree are these silver stickers. Then we have these butterflies and flowers. We have some felt flowers and leaves. We also have some cardstock numbers, and I got those in two different colors. I also picked up some flower stickers, and those are all the items that we'll be using. So I had these felt leaves, which I got from the dollar store a while ago. And then I also have some glue sticks that were from the dollar store as well. And you're going to need some scissors. And then we're also going to be using an Exacto knife, which I got from Dollar Tree as well. So let's get started. Okay, guys, so I got these images from Google, and I actually sized them myself in Pages, and I'm going to link a video below of how I do that. These two card stocks I actually got from Michael's because I couldn't find the card stock at Dollar Tree, and they normally do sell card stock, but they just didn't have it. So this is some card stock that I had at my house from Michael's, but I did get them from Michael's for like $1 and some change each, and I already had those. So we're just going to go ahead and cut those images out. And like I said, I sized them myself in the Pages app on my iPhone. And I actually printed these out myself on glossy paper in color. If you do not have a color printer, you can send them to like your local Staples or FedEx or somewhere, even your local library. You can go and get color copies for like $1 something a page. And if you're interested in the exact dimensions of my pictures, I will put those in the description box below if you want to try to recreate this exact topper. Okay, so now that we got our images all cut out, we're going to use those glitter alphabet stickers that we have, and we're going to actually spell out the name of the birthday girl on the little banner that we just cut out. And what I like about these little glitter stickers is that although they look like they have a white background, they're actually clear. So they're perfect for this project. One tip that I've given you guys before is when you're crafting or doing a cake or whatever, and you're spelling out a word or a name, I always start from the middle so I can make sure that my word is centered. So the name is Jada with a Y. and the Y would be the middle letter. So I put the Y down in the exact middle of the banner first, and then I worked my way out to make sure that her name would be centered in the banner. Okay, guys, so this is where we're going to get creative. Since this is a Dollar Tree topper, we're not using our Cricut, or let's say you don't have a Cricut. So I sized this image to about 5 inches wide. So you're just going to have to find a circle somewhere around your house. This is the top of one of my fondant containers that I'm using to make a circle. And this image is like a background image from the actual movie. And so, yeah, I just drew that circle using a top from one of my satin ice containers, and I'm just going to use my scissors to cut out the circle. Easy peasy. Okay, so now we're going to create a frame around this image, and we're going to use one of our sheets of cardstock. So I'm just going to flip the image over. Whenever you're tracing, you want to actually flip your image over and trace from the back of the image and not trace with your image facing up. So I'm just using a pen that is giving me such a hard time to trace this circle, but because I was pressing so hard, I still can see the indentation. So now that we have our circle, we're just going to use some scissors and maybe about a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch out from that circle, we're going to follow that circle with our scissors. So now we have our circle that's about a 1/4 inch wider than our circle image. So now to create that frame effect, we're going to go in about another 1/4 inch into the middle of that circle. And we're going to, this is another circle that I just found around my house. This is a sprinkle container top that we're going to use. You do not want to cut along the original line that we traced the circle. You do not want to cut that line. You want to make sure that you're cutting a little bit in, like a 1/4 inch in, on that third circle that we made. And this is because if you use your original line that you cut the circle out from and you make a frame that way, your circle is just going to fall through the middle. So this is why we went about a 1/4 inch out and then a 1/4 inch in, because we want the frame to overlap our circle just a little bit around the edge. Like I said, if you get confused, maybe you can do your circles in 3 different colors so you'll know which circle is which. But you're supposed to have 3 different circles when you're doing this part. And so the innermost circle is the one that you're going to use to follow with your Exacto knife. And that's how you're going to have it overlap your picture just a little bit and create the frame effect. Do not cut along the actual line of the actual image that we traced the first time, because like I said, your image will just fit into the middle like a puzzle, and that's not what we want. We want it to actually overlap our image like a picture frame. Okay, so there we have that portion. Now we're going to move on to the image of Maribel, and we're going to do her the same way as we did the circle. And we're just going to use that other cardstock, that pink cardstock. And like I said, we're going to flip the image over, and then we're going to trace around her. And then we're going to use our scissors, and then we're just going to follow around the shape about a 1/4 inch out so that we can get a frame around her picture. This is basically just us manually creating the offset effect that you would use if you had a Cricut. It would do it for you and cut this image for you. But since we're doing everything by hand, and this is a Dollar Tree project, we're just going to follow it with our scissors like I did. And then once you sit her on top of there, you'll see that there's that little pink frame around her. Done. Now we're going to add the age, which is the age 4. And I found these card stock numbers in like the school or like education section of Dollar Tree. And they have the larger numbers and the smaller numbers. I didn't know if I wanted to use the blue or the purple. So I'm going to go with purple. And we're going to be using the number 4, like I said. And we're going to do that same step that we just did with Maribel, the character Maribel. We're going to do that with the number 4. But we're going to do it with some of our leftover purple cardstock. And this pen is just committed to giving me a hard time today. So we flip that number 4 over. We're just going to trace it just like we did the character. And then we're going to follow along just like we did with the other shapes so that we can get the shadow for the number 4. Okay, so those are all of our little pictures and our little cardstock backgrounds that we need. So now we're going to start adding the additional items that we got from Dollar Tree. So out of this little felt pack, we're only going to use these green leaves. And so like I said, they're made out of felt and they already have adhesive on the back of them, which was cool. And I had these leaves and these flowers that I planned on using, but then I changed my mind because they didn't really fit into my design. So now we have these butterflies, which I thought were so cute and went so good along with the movie thing. And then we had these matching flowers. And so they're like glitter cardstock onto like a metallic cardstock, which is perfect. And the flowers and the butterflies both have that little puffy adhesive on the back of them already. But you can choose to glue them down if you want. So now I'm just kind of playing with the different colors and the different shapes and kind of arranging them how I plan to glue them down. So now that I kind of got my topper planned out, I also got these skewers from the dollar store. You can find those in the cooking section. And we're going to use a hot glue gun to glue this all together. And they also do sell hot glue guns at the dollar store, but I have several hot glue guns. So I'm just using one that I already have. And so first we're going to get that image onto the frame. We're just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge. And as you can see, I'm using colored glue sticks. Because I had these from the holidays. So you can they actually have clear ones. You can use clear glue sticks, but I'm just using these to kind of get rid of them from the holidays. But I have to be careful because they are colored. So I'm being very careful just putting a little bit of glue around the edges. Now I'm gluing the Maribel image onto the pink background that we made for her. And we're going to get that picture onto our circle background. And then we're going to just start gluing all of our other little pieces down with our hot glue gun. And I like to put that image down first and then actually put the banner on top of the image so it doesn't cover up the name. I rather cover up the bottom of the image than cover up the actual child's name. And so I'm just going to go through and get that number 4, the background down first, and then the number 4. And then we're going to go through and get those leaves and flowers around the edges. And then finally we'll get those skewers onto the back. So guys, as you can see with all the different products that we used from Dollar Tree and the additional products that we had, We made this topper, this entire topper, for less than $10. And we have additional items that we can make, probably about 2 to 3 other toppers. So this is definitely a cost efficient way to make your own personalized toppers for your cakes. And there we have it, guys. I just end up picking that number 4 up and kind of repositioning it because it was a little bit crooked to me. So I just picked it up and put it back down. And there we have it, guys. How cute is that? And we made it with all Dollar Tree products, and we did not have to use a Cricut. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.